Yes, but I was probably.
Yeah, sure. Shoot.
Hey, GM everyone. I'm Salman and welcome to Salman Needs a Job. I'm here right now at ETHMumbai along with Ornella from the Ethereum Foundation about to talk about all things Devcon. But a quick background. I met Ornella many years ago in a DAO where she was leading a lot of educational initiatives, and also like a couple of years back in Devcon in Thailand, you were hosting New to Web3, an event onboarding like people to Web3. But something that was really special, I thought, about that event was that you brought locals over here and made sure like everything that was being communicated also in Thai. So a lot of people got to actually experience their whole Web3 like onboarding journey during that event. And ever since, I believe you have done like a few of those, and of course gotten yourself a job at Ethereum Foundation, which is very cool. So this year we have a Devcon happening in Mumbai, which is like a big moment for all of us over here. So Ornella leads volunteer and community initiatives at Devcon, so a great opportunity to catch up and find out all about it.
Thank you so much for that energetic introduction. And yeah, it's very special to be talking together today. As you mentioned, because we met through community in the DAO space many years ago. I think it's already like 4 years ago. At least.
You were like a very active like a contributor in the space. So just tell me about like what's been happening since your DAO journey.
Sure. Happy to share on how that journey leads up to today. Hopefully this story can inspire more people to get excited, to learn about Ethereum, get excited, understand like the why of all these things and how this eventually can become part of your life. When we met in the DAO days, that was thank you to like different content creators. I was first in the music industry doing events. That took me to have a pause during the pandemic because nothing happened. So that really pushed me to like learn about new things. And between all of the things that I learned was Ethereum. I heard of it first through like music NFTs. Oh, and what is an NFT? What is Ethereum? And then I started reading about Ethereum and decentralization, and things started to make a lot of sense. And I was like, wow, there's a group of humans, like building and working on this important problem for society. And that just like really took me to a research to understand like the deepness of it, who was like contributing to that effort, and how I could get more involved and learn more. Through that research, I found at that moment in time in 2021, the DAOs were like very open, and you had like different communities all over the world. And the DAO we met, it was super fun. Like there was a lot of people contributing in different areas, different guilds. So I started contributing with the things I knew how to do, like marketing, communications, but not events yet, because it was still like, those times where everything wasn't really like happening outside yet, especially in different countries. It was all like digital contributions around Ethereum and its spirit. As things started like improving, I remember DevConnect Amsterdam happened. I remember we were like in the DAO at that time, and I really wanted to go. I saw, oh, this is amazing. This is like everyone that I've met online so far, like a year in, it's like real people. It's not just PFPs, they're real humans behind all of these efforts, contributing, and they have this amazing conference. So I was able to watch like the streaming online, and just the openness of the knowledge and caring that people actually, even though you weren't able to be at the event present, you could actually see the talks and the videos and still continue learning. I found that incredibly inclusive, besides all the things that already caught my attention about like decentralization, self-sovereignty, and more. So the community aspect of it, I think, is what made it even much more like stickier and profound. I wasn't able to travel because at that time I had moved from my original country to a new country, and I didn't have like a visa at that moment. I couldn't like travel yet. Then I also saw Bogota happen, also major FOMO in that sense. I was like, wow, they're meeting actually in South America. So I was born in South America, and I was like, incredible, like DevConnect Amsterdam, then Devcon Bogota, and I saw the opening ceremony of Deva and the dances, the cultural involvement. And I said, this is really special. Like the way they celebrate Ethereum, the way it comes to life is really special. So naturally, I said how I could attend. And then with time, I also learned that I wanted to be more involved with that in any capacity at that time. So what did I do in the meantime was that I think also Ethereum and the community and the space really gives you that creative freedom. So as I say, like, just build it. You can just do things. And the community really encouraged me when I realized that. I said, okay, I have learned something. Even if it's a little bit, I can already teach that to someone that is coming new, right?
Yeah.
And I really thought that I wanted to, everything that I was learning about Ethereum, that I wanted to give back and teach other people. So I started working in educational projects within the DAO, also more public good projects related. So like one of them was Bangkok Academy, which is an amazing platform like to learn the basics of Ethereum, get onboarded in a more like tangible manner. But then it was still just like an app. And I said, how can we actually bring this to the real people, like in person? So we started doing like onboarding booths.
Yeah.
So we basically went to ETH events and asked for the organizers to share with us a space, even if it was a bit small. And we like printed a banner, set up a booth. We got like pull-ups, and they got to learn about Ethereum from Ethereum contributors. And that really helped a lot of people that were going to Ethereum conferences, but that didn't have like a place where to start. So that happened for several years. Until then, what you mentioned, the New to Web3 event, I said, okay, let's do like a circuit. So it's like a mini fair, you would say.
It was like a fair.
Yeah. It was right before Devcon
I'm just
C.
seeing like how your journey is like passing through a lot of Devcons and Devconnects.
Yeah, absolutely. So like it's, I really want everyone to consider coming to Devcon because it's so inspiring.
Devcon week, SEA was like amazing. I was just talking to somebody yesterday about their Devcon experience, and he said like Devcon was like the pivotal moment for them. They met their investors and all over there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Devcon is a special place where the Ethereum community gathers, and also the extended communities, sections or communities that also care about decentralization, open source. They all come together. So I think that also opened up doors to people in other areas of other things that are getting built around Ethereum. But it's a fuel, to kind of make that happen. Devcon C was very special, and that's when I felt really the professionalism in which the event was produced. So coming from that event's perspective before starting more profoundly in Web3, I really thought, wow, this is amazing. Like, then roles opened up and I decided to apply because naturally I felt that I felt much more aligned, right, with working for Ethereum than joining.
Love for like many years.
Yeah, exactly. Because I learned everything about Ethereum through community, online, for free. How can we make that happen more? And Devcon is a great way to get involved, attend the event, and just start learning.
Let's do a quick rundown of a Devcon itself. Like, what is Devcon? Like, it's been happening like for many years.
Sure. So the story is amazing because it started all with a meetup in 2014. So I can only imagine like people that were present at that time and involved. Ethereum wasn't even launched by that time, right? So later on, there was like Devcon 2. I mean, it started moving through Asia and Europe, right? And then there's a new concept that came up was Devconnect Istanbul in 2023. That was like a different format, which was a co-working space, and around the city, the community organized different side events. But Devcon is like everything in one venue. So Devcon itself is like the flagship event organized by the Ethereum Foundation. It's a place where the whole community gathers, extended communities as well, like everyone is welcome. And it takes place in one big venue. All the talks, all the workshops happen inside. You just go there and have a variety of activities to do, and you meet everyone there at the event. So the community comes together there, and it's a place where Ethereum comes to life. It's very magical. The way it is produced, it's very special. So you feel like you're entering the world of Ethereum. The last one was a mix, actually, Devconnect Argentina, which is last year in Buenos Aires. it was a mix of a Devcon and a Devconnect because it had the co-working space like the Devconnect, but it also had a lot of talks and events within the venue. So it was a very special edition. It was the first ever Ethereum World's Fair showcasing different applications.
How did India happen? Like, why is Devcon coming to India?
Oh, sure. So India now here coming to Mumbai, it is very special because India has one of the largest developer communities in the world. So there's a lot of talent here. There's talent that has built amazing things on Ethereum, but they probably are outside of India. So I guess the idea is like to empower a lot and give tools and the space to coordinate and build together for people that are here living. Obviously it has a huge population, so proportionately all the numbers like higher. So I think it was really important for Devcon to be present here. The adoption itself is also growing. The developer ecosystem is very strong. And also I've noticed like very young. So coming here to Mumbai, the community is young, and that's great to see. That excites me a lot because I think the future, I mean, Ethereum is being built thinking for like thousands of years. So what better than to build whatever it is, right? A tool, build on the protocol, right? Or build community, right? I think everyone is a builder in some capacity, than to thinking about the future and for others that to come after us. So I think that is it's nice. Yeah.
The community initiatives at Devcon, can you tell me about like what it is you're showing on the slides the other day? What can we do to get involved?
Yeah, there's many ways. What I shared, the first ones are DIPs that are called Devcon Improvement Proposals. So the important thing is that a Devcon is a community-driven event. We have like the venue, the space, but the content that is happened is by the community. The DIPs are one way, for example, if you have an idea of something that should be added, changed, or subtracted from the event itself, you go on the forum.devcon.org and you can propose your idea. It could be around ticketing, it could be about art, it could be about the meta, how the DA process itself works.
Any example from last year at Buenos Aires that came to life through these?
Yeah, so there was a platform called Agora. There was like a CK voting platform and to gather consensus around like feedback for the event. That was interesting. There was another in Bangkok Sea. It was a tabletop board games. So it could be also fun activities. They're also welcome in the forum. Yeah, so you gather feedback. Okay. Ideally, it's also initiatives that dog food Ethereum. So for example, for Devcon C, there was a decentralized playlist and you could like share music on this app that was being tested. It was very fun. So things like that are more broader, different topics, but just we want people to know that they are able to participate, gather feedback, and implement that, be part of Devcon. Then secondly, we have volunteers. So volunteer applications opened up June 1st. But here we've been meeting a lot of community members that are already interested. So that's been really great to meet in person. Many of them are already volunteering for ETHMumbai. So they understand, the importance of being a volunteer. And we've been meeting and it's been great. So June 1st, that's another way to get involved. Then we have community hubs, which are spaces within the venue of different communities and projects, not just one, that gather to have a community hub around a certain topic. So this topic can be, for example, last year we had privacy hub, account abstraction, regen, governance, decentralized science, women in Web3, Latam hub, which was in Spanish. So like maybe there's a hub that's in Hindi, for maybe some locals that don't know much English. There's different community hubs and the programming that happens in these like cozy spaces, because like there are bean bags and chairs, all the programming is organized by the community. Okay. So you take care of the programming during the 4 days, but you take turns. So it's like collaborative effort. That's really cool. Okay. Then we have speaker applications that's going to open in July. Okay. So right now the process is that when applications open up, you propose a topic, right? And then there's a community of volunteer reviewers that have like expertise and knowledge in these topics, so they are able to curate and support and vote on which topics would be valuable to have at Devcon in this edition. And then you receive the answer for the application. So this is really important because it's like a snapshot of Devcon is like a snapshot of Ethereum's evolution and innovation, like a photo of in time, like a snapshot.
So when you say community hub, so even like anything that is conceptualized that is new, we could be coming.
Yeah. So last year, for example, in Argentina, there's 2 or 3 hubs that were new, and one was future cities and hubs. This was really good because during the past 3 or 4 years, we have seen like the development of pop-up cities, which ideally at some point stop being pop-up. They're like more permanent, right? But pop-up is like the initial test, the experiment, right? So some have worked really well in many different parts of the world.
There is a permanent one in Shanghai, Salo Library.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, to name a few, right? In like Florida and Brazil, there's been movement, and Switzerland. Like many different countries have pop-up cities or events.
These communities are able to come together and host like a hub.
It was called like that, like future cities and hubs. So anything regarding like tooling for these communities, how do test them, implement them, discuss, collaborate, it was a really great space and very new.
Any final thoughts?
Sure. I think I would like to invite on behalf of the team to really consider coming to Devcon. It will be very special because as Devcon, happens in different parts of the world, it's like every community adds their flavor, right, to like the Ethereum ecosystem. So it's a great way to stay updated with the latest research developments, to catch up or meet, community members, and also get that nurturing of like different cultures. Because if we're building for the world, it's great to have perspective, and the venue is amazing, the vibe, the energy here is amazing, and I think really profound relationships are going to take place during those days. So whenever it's possible to get your ticket to the event, I think it's really important that you go for it.
Definitely, highly recommend. And some of us at ETHMumbai here also got...
I would like to give a shout out to like all the ETHMumbai team. The execution of the event the other day and now the hackathon is really like top notch. So kudos to all the team. Thank you for the invitation. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ornella. This was wonderful talking to you.
All right. Thank you so much.